Hi everyone, welcome to Torah on Demand. I'm Rabbi Yael Ridberg. In the days since the horrific massacre at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, I have turned off and on the news repeatedly, drawn to the stories of the senselessly murdered 19 children and 2 teachers, but not wanting to feel voyeuristic. It wasn't until I read about the custom casket maker Trey Ganem and the team of professionals providing funeral services for the victims' families free of charge that I even wept. Smaller caskets, you see, are rarely in stock. So Ganem, who lives in Texas near the Gulf Coast, ordered them from a manufacturer in Griffin, Georgia, whose manufacturer worked 20 hours straight to fulfill the order. And then another friend of his hired a trucking company to make the 26-hour drive from Texas to Georgia and back to Texas. Trey and his sons worked all night to sand and paint and then apply vinyl to the caskets, individualizing the designs and the themes of Superman or softball or TikTok, dinosaurs, Spider-Man, and Star Wars in memory of each of the children. One casket for each child. A collective outpouring of grief and love. This week, as we begin the book of Bemidbar, the book of Numbers, and we read of the census taking place before the people were to set off on the wilderness, I was reminded that in Hebrew there are 2 words for counting, limnot and lispor. Limnot has the same root as minyan, the quorum of 10, what we need for a prayer service. The word connotes each number being important in and of itself. The word lispor, on the other hand, has the same root as sfirah, like sfirat ha'omer, the counting of the omer between Pesach and Shavuot, that is a process of counting that leads to something bigger with each individual number. The Torah records each tribe for both kinds of counting. Each one must matter, and the centrality of the people to the future is paramount. Rashi teaches that it's because of God's love for the people that they are counted individually and as a collective. This is a stark reminder, considering this latest massacre of children, that each mattered on their own and to the concentric circles of family and friends and the town of Uvalde as a whole. And because this mass shooting is the deadliest since the horror of the Sandy Hook massacre 10 years ago, the collective counting matters too. Jewish tradition is organized around the principle of the preciousness of life and teaches us repeatedly and in many forms the lengths we must go to preserve life and to respect our fellow human beings. Everyone counts as individuals and as beloved members of the community. The proliferation of weapons in America and the steady cadence of gun violence should alarm each one of us and should motivate each lawmaker to act beyond their attachment to power and position. And yet, here we are again with evidence of the chasm between Jewish values and society. The Talmud teaches that but for the life breath of children, the world would not endure. We count each child and teacher by their name, by their family, by their school, by their community, and by the prayer that our collective grief should count towards the eradication of such weapons of violence that shatter the whole heart of the world every time. May their memory be a blessing and for a revolution, and may we fight for a better world in each of their names. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Shavuot Sameach. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.